Some strong words from the people trying to stop the Ford government's plans to redevelop Ontario Place. The City of Toronto has agreed to not stand in the way after getting a deal from the province to assume all the costs associated with the Gardiner Expressway and the DVP. Mayor Chow says Ontario Place belongs to the province, and the city doesn't have the authority to stop the redevelopment. One critic says the decision will let the province steal the land from the people of Ontario. Norm Pasquale is the co-chair of Ontario Place for All and joins us live. Norm, how did you react when you found out about this deal?
Well, I mean, I'm extremely upset that, Ontarians, first of all, are going to have this gem of waterfront space taken away from us, and our ability to have our say also taken away from us as part of this deal. So, I'm very, I'm obviously quite upset with what the province plans to do to ruin what is essentially, a heritage site in Ontario, which matters so much to Ontarians across this province.
It seemed like the mayor had your support. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, so I mean, the mayor essentially is just not going to, necessarily fight this in a court of law, but the province was always, in my opinion, going to take the land away from us. And there's nothing the city can do in that case because the province, has that in their kind of bag of tricks that they can pull, which is take any sort of city land that they deem appropriate. So, there wasn't a whole lot the city could do there. And now the fight moves away from the city and we turn our attention to Queen's Park and to Therme to stop this terrible plan.
But it would have been at least symbolic if the mayor was supporting you. Are you disappointed?
Disappointed, I think, is probably a good word that this is now moving away from the city where, Torontonians would have a really good opportunity to have our say. And, we could fight for the land that the city of Toronto owned. I mean, but the province, obviously, there's some sort of legal penalty to them in this secret contract that they won't show us if they don't have planning approvals by the end of December. So the province was always going to rip this land away from us and rip this decision away from Ontarians, so that they could satisfy, their mega spa folks that are on the other side of that contract.
The province will say there are more plans than just a mega spa. They're going to build this giant water park. There's going to be 16 acres of park space. Do you have issues with everything, or is it mainly the spa?
Yeah, so the West Island work is obviously the most contentious part of it. So they're going to erase everything at West Island, all 850 trees, the microclimates, the vegetation. This is habitat to well over 100 species of bird and animals. And, it's a heritage site that was planned by landscape architect Michael Huff. And it was meant to celebrate and reflect Ontario. So much of what is special about Ontario will be erased when they erase everything that is at West Island. And they're doing this without environmental assessment and now inoculating themselves from having to do an environmental assessment with this new bill that they're bringing to Queen's Park.
You certainly brought attention to this issue, your group. What's next?
Yeah, what's next is we turn our attention to the province and to Therme. The province, this bill that they're bringing is terrible. Like, it waives their need to do an environmental assessment. It waives our Bill of Rights. It waives any sort of heritage protections that this site had. And it waives any sort of planning requirements. Like, I think we have laws to protect people and the environment. We don't really want to throw all those laws aside. I mean, if we have to do that, there must be something wrong with the development. So, we're going to go to Queen's Park and make sure that we are heard loud and clear that this bill to, facilitate the wrecking of Ontario Place is not supported by Ontarians at large. And we're going to call out Therme and, ask them, like, do you really want to be a part of, some sort of a development that throws all of Ontario's laws aside, all the protections for the people of Ontario aside so that it can carry forward? This doesn't seem like a real great way to launch your spa business in North America.
All right, Norm Pasquale with Ontario Place for All. Thank you.
Thank you.